Hello everyone, I'm Baruffy1322 and welcome to this final update to the original fastest vehicles in GTA 5 series. In this video we're going to be focusing on the brand new vehicles in the next generation of games, such as the Dukes and the Stallion, the Blister Compact and the Marshall. So I just want to, before we start, sort of give you an idea of where we're at with these fastest car series. And basically the one that you should be watching, the one that you want to watch, is this one, the best fully upgraded cars in GTA Online. This is the most recent one. It was only done sort of a week before the next gen version of games hit, and it's where I fully upgraded every single car in the game, took it around a test track, and then ranked them based on lap time from 140th all the way to first. Now that was actually a sequel to the original series, which is this, so where I took the original cars. This was done about a year ago, just after the game first came out, and it had sort of broken down into all of the classes, and it tested all of the cars in their stock forms. Now, because it was so early, it was done so early, we had update videos when DLC cars came out and things like that, and I also did some sort of random off-the-cuff ones with cycles and boats, planes, helicopters, things like this. This is the original video and the original series. So this video is going to be part of that original series technically, and it's going to sort of finish it off, but it's also going to be a bit of a hybrid of the two. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at is the Marshall. So the Marshall is very similar to the Liberator. Obviously they are almost identical in terms of how they feel, but this is the lap time that we can actually take to be right as well, and I'll update the spreadsheet for the fastest best fully upgraded cars. And if you want to know about that spreadsheet, again, watch the best fully upgraded cars series. I'll link it sort of all in the description and all on the screen and things like this. But yeah, the Marshall is just a little bit slower than the Liberator. That's just because it kind of doesn't pick up that pace as quickly as the Liberator. The Liberator is just a little bit better at sort of building that speed along the straight. So the reason that this video is a bit of a hybrid is, on the one hand, the turbo is still broken, so that means that I can't just take all the cars fully upgraded around the track and give them their lap times in comparison to what we found before. And that's just because the turbo is broken, but also it's not an original video because we used a different track for the best fully upgraded cars, and it's a much better track as well, rather than sort of the original cutting corners. And on the original series I tested all of the cars stock, whereas I'm not going to do that for this video. There's very limited usage of testing them when they're stock these days, so it makes no sense to do that. But I just wanted to make this video to give you guys sort of a rough idea of where the new cars sort of fit into the lists, because I am going to test them all fully upgraded but without turbo. So obviously, because the Marshall you can't actually upgrade it, that is a time that we can take for it to be right. So the Blister Compact is next, and the Blister Compact is a car that absolutely infuriates me. I absolutely hate it, not because of anything that it's done wrong. I think it's quite a nice car in general, but it's the fact that it's a sports car. The Blister Compact has been put into the sports class, and it's much worse than the Futo. Now, the Futo used to be our worst sports car in the game, and if you remember from the best fully upgraded car series, it was around 60th place overall. That's how slow it was. The Blister Compact is even slower than that, even taking into account the fact that it doesn't have the turbo in this lap time. So the Blister Compact is our first front wheel drive sports car, and it's also our brand new slowest sports car in the game. So instead of trying to compare it to a Massacro, which would get something like a 1:06, I decided to take the original Blister around the track again without the turbo, and it turns out that it's only 1.5 seconds slower, which, when you add the turbo in, it probably means that the Blister Compact would be kind of on the pace of the Rhapsody and the Panto, which are the quickest cars in their class in the compact class. So the original Blister is a compact car, it's in the compact class. The Blister Compact, which is even more compact than the Blister, isn't in the compact class, and it would be very competitive in that class if it was there. And that's why it infuriates me, because there's no reason to have the Blister Compact in the sport class. I don't know why Rockstar continue to do this, but it would have been a fantastic car to use in the compact class. It would have been great to have battles between that, the Rhapsody and the Panto, and it's only really the spoiler that makes it any quicker than the original Blister. But they decided to put it in the sports car, so the sports class. So it's a nice car, but it's pretty useless for racing. They've just put in a car that's completely useless in its class for racing, and it's the slowest sports car in the game. So moving on from that little rant, we've got the Stallion. Now the Stallion's quite a nice vehicle to drive, you know, it's not on the pace of the Dominator. So the Dominator, without a turbo on this track, I managed to get a 1 minute 11.7, so obviously a little bit slower than what it managed with the turbo, but the Stallion is around 2 seconds off the pace. And the best thing that I can kind of sort of compare it to is the Sabre Turbo. It feels a little bit like the Sabre Turbo, but a little bit bigger. And in terms, you know, for pace wise, it's probably going to be around the same pace as the Sabre Turbo when they are both fully upgraded. So that's actually pretty good, you know, it's not too far off the pace. You can certainly use it in a race if you want, you know, you would be a little bit off the pace, but you can definitely get away with it. And, you know, it's just quite a nice car to drive and quite a nice car to look at as well. So yeah, that's not too bad. I can understand why that's in muscle cars more than the Blister Compact is in sports. So finally we'll finish the video with the Dukes. Now the Dukes is actually very, very close to the Dominator. Obviously, as you can see there, only 0.3 of a second away when they both don't have the turbo. And it actually feels quite a nice car to drive. You know, it's kind of the muscle car that I always wanted, really. You know, I've never been able to get away with the Dominator. It just doesn't suit me very well. And the Blade was kind of okay as a secondary one, but it also didn't suit me great. The Dukes feels quite nice to drive, you know, it's quite planted, it seems to be quite consistent, and obviously it's reasonably quick as well. Now it remains to be seen how the turbo will affect it. Will it improve it a bit more so it's quicker than the Dominator, or will it fall back a little bit? But yeah, it's interesting to see that the Dukes will definitely be able to be competitive in muscle car races when they are both fully upgraded. And obviously, but when they both don't have a turbo, they are very, very close, only 0.3 of a second between them. So it is nice to see that we do have a brand new car that can actually be competitive in its class, unlike the Blister Compact. Sorry, I'll stop going on about that now, it just really infuriates me. So yeah, the Duke's really nice car, you know, competitive in its class, and I hope that kind of gives you a rough idea of where these cars are going to be in terms of lap times to do with the other cars in the class when they are all fully upgraded. So I just want to finish up by sort of saying goodbye to this series, really, and I'm just showing you a bit of a random race. It was just after I'd done the testing, I saw Los Santos GP in a loop on one of the lobby screens, so I thought, do you know what, it's next gen, it's my track, I might as well you know, give it a go, see what it's like. And obviously I just ended up in a random race with a load of randoms with catch up and slipstream on. It wasn't exactly what I'd call a race, but yeah, I just thought I'd use the footage there just to whilst I talk about the end of this series. And just so those of you who don't know, Los Santos GP in a loop is actually my track that was verified by Rockstar. So yeah, this is sort of the last video of this series, and that's really because, you know, I wasn't going to do any more videos. I was going to kind of leave it to the last generation of games, just because, you know, nobody really drives stock class cars anymore. You know, testing the cars on the original Cutting Coroners, which wasn't the best test track in the world compared to the one that we use now, in their stock forms, there's not really a lot that you can get from that, really. You know, with the spoiler updates and all that kind of stuff, the cars do react a little bit differently when they are fully upgraded. So the fully upgraded series is the one that I want to focus on, and that's what I'm going to be sort of continuing with, because it does seem like all the physics are exactly the same on new gen when the turbo gets fixed. And I want to sort of break it down into different classes and all that kind of stuff. I've got lots of different video ideas for that series. But yeah, you know, this is kind of just saying a final goodbye to the original series, which brought me a lot of success, I guess. You know, the original video for the fastest cars, the supercars and the sports cars, has nearly 600,000 views, and that's amazing, you know. So it was kind of the first thing of its kind at the time, you know. I mean, this was only about a month after the game first came out, and nobody had done anything like this. People had done drag tests and things like this, but they hadn't tested them around a track to actually get a good idea of the car performance. So yeah, it's been a really fun series to do. I think the highlights have actually been sort of the more off the cuff ones, sort of like the planes and the helicopters. That they were really fun to do. I think the fastest planes is actually my favourite video from the series. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun to do, and I have a lot to thank this series for. So this is going to be the final one in this series. Obviously it has been a bit of a hybrid of the two as well, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun to do. It's brought me a lot of success, and I just wanted to give it a proper send-off, if you like, by having this video out as well. So thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate your support. Let me know down in the comments what you enjoyed most about the original series. Obviously if you haven't watched it, you can go and watch it. All the links will be in the description and at the end of the video. And if you are brand new to the channel, I really do recommend you watch the best fully upgraded cars series as well. Again, the links will be in the description and at the end of the video. So let me know what you thought about this series that we are finishing off, the original series. What was your favourite moments? And was it the reason that you actually found me as well? Because I imagine that it would be for most people who are subscribed to me. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time.